Hi folks, this is another donation PC that I've got today. I really have no idea what's in it. I'm hoping that some of the stuff in here is newer than what I'm using, but I may well be wrong. All I know at the moment is it's a compact and it opens up the opposite way on. As you can see, everything's kind of upside down here. Yep. So I think it's a micro ATX form factor, but just mounted upside down. So we're going to get the side covers off, see what's in it, and then we're going to switch it on, connect it up to this monitor, and see if we can find out what the specs are. Okay, well it's an AMD system, I would say, looking at that mounting arrangement, and actually the clues on the front there with that AMD Vision. Because it says AMD Vision, I'm not convinced that this is a particularly high spec PC. But we've got 4 SATA ports there on the motherboard. No real room for expansion at all. Look at that. You got a couple of small PCI Express, but no full size PCI Express at all. And when you've only got VGA out on here, it doesn't really bode well, does it? It's not exactly a gaming machine. This looks like a really kind of stripped back basic system. Yeah, it's one of these proprietary boards from HP or Compaq. It's probably used for lots of different systems, and for some systems that they don't even solder on every component. You see, you've even got room there for 2 more RAM slots, but they're not there. So I don't think it is going to be a particularly brilliant system, to be honest. But it might be better than what's being used for the kids' PCs at the moment. Particularly as it's AMD, it might have half decent onboard graphics. So I think the only thing to do now really is to get the thing powered up and see what the system says. Right, getting into the BIOS of this thing is almost impossible. In the end, I switched the thing on and pressed about just about every key that I could find, and it's gone into this diagnostic tools thing. But that tells me it's an AMD Athlon 2 X2 220 processor. And actually, I've been online and I've checked the spec, and this is an AM3 motherboard, so it's reasonably new actually. So if you can get a decent processor in there with good onboard graphics, this could actually be a half decent PC. It will take a Phenom in there, so I'm just wondering if there is mileage in this. I did wonder if there was a hard drive caddy missing, because it looks like there's something that would slot in here, but there isn't. The main hard drive fits in here, and you can access that from the front. I've taken this front panel off. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. There we go. You can just slide it in and out there. So that's quite easy and neat. And if you want a second hard drive, there are mounting screws on the front here, so you can mount it up against this front. So that just leaves you a lot of space in here. So, it's quite a clever little design actually. Room for a cooling fan on the back if you want. But this is a very quiet PC as well. So, you know, for kind of basic standard office stuff, or a low-end kind of gaming PC, or maybe for doing kind of audio work, this could be actually a great PC to have in kind of as my main music recording PC, because I think the processor is key, and it's getting the speed. I think this is about 2.8 gig, which is enough to run Cubase. So I might have some use for this PC after all. So considering it's cost me nothing, it's a reasonable score. I think probably want to upgrade this. This is a Best Tech power supply. I'm not convinced that they are the best. I don't even know if this is the original power supply or not. So no real option to upgrade the graphics on it, but if you're kind of using it for a non-graphics hungry function, then it should be pretty good. Certainly quite new, as I said, AM3 processor. We've got some possible upgrade there. It's a half decent case. I like the fact that the bezel comes off and doesn't have all the wires attached, because you know all the front panel stuff is connected here. something that is actually quite good about the proprietary stuff, HP, Dell, they're usually pretty good when it comes to that kind of thing. Whereas if you buy a case, often everything's attached to the plastic bezel, so when you're trying to take the bezel off, you're pulling cables through. Now this is a better design, and I kind of like that sort of thing. So yeah, on the whole, I'm happy with that. I'll probably do something with it. We'll get a hard drive in here, get Windows loaded on, and see where we go from there. Thanks for watching. Okay, just an update on this new free PC that I've got. This is DDR3 RAM, 3 gigs of. Now I don't have any other DDR3 PCs. This is the first one I've got that's got DDR3 memory. So that's great for upgrade point of view, because I can now buy another DDR3 motherboard and I've already got the memory to go in. So that saves me, 20 quid or so. Which doesn't sound like a lot of money, but when you put the system together, it's 20 quid you can spend on something else. This is, as I thought, it is AM3. It will go up to a Phenom processor, so there's potential to upgrade here as well, which is good. And actually there's potential to just put another AM3 board in and use the hardware that we've got, maybe a better board. Discovered it's on-board graphics. It's not on the processor, it's on the motherboard. It's Radeon HD 3000, so it's not brilliant, but again, for a non-graphics intensive PC, it'll probably be fine. The other thing is, wanted to clean up the heatsink. I think the only way to get the fan off is to take the whole thing off, which I've done. But this, look at that! That's horrible! Yuck! So we're going to have to give that a clean with my trusty toothbrush. Can you imagine how inefficient that is being? So get that cleaned out and this will run a whole lot more efficiently. So I've gone from being a bit blasé and ambivalent to this computer to kind of thinking, actually this is quite good. This is a good starting point for a new PC really, and starting to build up some new components, and it's all to do with that DDR3 really. I may see if I can get a different motherboard to start off with, just buy a cheap AM3 board with a PCI Express socket on it, and go from there. Quite like this. This is actually a quiet cooler, so I don't want to faff about with that or anything at the moment. Let's see where it takes us. So I think what I'm going to do is this Dell thing down here, which I've been working on. I'm probably going to retire that completely, scrap that, take some of the things out of it that I can perhaps keep, because that's an older generation Athlon. I think that might be a socket 939 or something. Now, no point really keeping hold of that now. This thing here is my spare at the moment, and I've got that now installed with Windows 7. That's got a Core 2 Duo in it with about 3 gigs of DDR2. Obviously the Dell will take the DDR2 out of there. Obviously that's my gaming PC, which I haven't done anything with yet, but it may be that if we upgrade this and get this to a point we might move everything into there. I don't know yet, all sorts of options. But anyway, I'm rambling on once again. Thank you very much for watching, and feel free to comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.